Hello! In this presentation, I will walk you through my Laravel application. This application is to showcase the structure of the model view controller or MVC pattern, demonstrating how the data is managed, presented, and interacted with using Laravel's powerful features, including eloquent, ORM, and routing. I'll be explaining the code, the database structure, and how all the components work together seamlessly. Let's start with the model. The model in Laravel is responsible for interacting within the database. It represents the data and the business logic of this application. In this project, I have used Laravel's Eloquent ORM to interact with the database. Eloquent allows us to define relationships between models such as one-to-many, many-to-many, and others. Like for example, I have a user model that interacts with the users table in the database. This model has a one-to-many relationships with the post model, meaning a user can have the many posts. Next, let's talk about the view. The view in Laravel is responsible for displaying the data to the user. It is typically made of Blade templates, which is Laravel's templating engine. The view is designed to represent the data that we fetch from the database. In this project, I have created a page that lists all the users and their posts. In the Blade view, I loop through the users and their posts like this. This is a simple demonstration of how we present the data fetched from the database using Eloquent in a clean and readable format. The view is what the user will interact with and see the data displayed. Now let's move on to the controller. The controller acts as an intermediary between the model and view. It handles the logic of the application, processes the request, fetch the data from the model, and passes it to the view for presentation. Like for example, in this project, I have a user control with methods like show users that fetch data from the database using the user model and then pass it to the view. This method retrieves all users along with their posts from the database and then passes this data to the users at index view. Controllers manage the application flow and ensure that the data is properly passed from the database to the user interface. Let's now talk about how the routes work. In Laravel, routes are defined in the web.php file, and routes map HTTP requests to the methods in the controller. When a user visits a specific URL, the routing system determines which controller method should handle the request. Like for example, to display all users, I have a route defined in the web.php file like this. And this route listens for GET request to the user's URL and maps it to the show users method in the user controller. The routing system in Laravel is flexible and easy to use, allowing us to map various HTTP methods like GET, POST, PUT, DELETE to a different controller actions. Now, let's take a look at the database structure. My project uses two main tables, users and posts. The users tables contains my information, which is my name, email, and password, while the post table contains the title and content of each post. Here's the structure of the users table. In this case, the post table has a foreign key column user ID, which establishes the one-to-many relationships with the users table. The user ID column links each post to a specific user, allowing us to retrieve all posts for a particular user using Eloquent. In conclusion, this Laravel project demonstrates the use of the MVC architecture, showcasing how the model, view, controller, and routing system work together. By using Eloquent ORM, I've been able to define relationships between models and interact with the database efficiently. The view represents the data to the user, while the controller manages the local and communicates with the both model and the view. I hope this explanation helps you understand how Laravel structures applications and how the various components work together seamlessly. Thank you for watching.